The first consideration regarding a person's potential legal ramifications when there are accusations of crime is their effect on the person accused of the crime. For example, for those who rely on trust for their livelihood, including professionals, businesspeople, and others, the implications of an accusation may occur long before any formal charges are brought. Many people can find their careers stalled, have their licenses questioned, and lose valuable relationships with clients or partners instantaneously when faced with accusations of a crime. This means that an early attorney is about more than just preparing a defense. It is also about protecting a client's rights in an incredibly complex legal system and making sure that their reputation is preserved despite the existence of such an allegation. The way in which criminal allegations arise and develop for professionals is different from how non-professional allegations develop. Criminal accusations against professionals may involve government agencies, employers, professional licensing boards, the media, and potentially all the above. Even if the allegations are unproven, simply having a criminal investigation initiated against someone may lead to an internal investigation, suspension, or business losses for the professional. Understanding these additional stakeholders in the process of defending against an allegation of a crime is crucial, and this is one of the many reasons that legal advice must be sought up early on. One of the most misunderstood aspects of the criminal justice process is that significant consequences can occur well before a case ever reaches a courtroom. Investigations may take months or even years, during which time individuals are often left in a state of uncertainty. For professionals, this period can be particularly damaging. Employers may place individuals on leave, clients may quietly disengage, and rumors can spread within industries that rely heavily on reputation. Early legal guidance helps individuals understand where they are in the process and what may come next. It also provides a structured way to respond to inquiries from law enforcement or regulatory agencies without overreacting or inadvertently creating additional risk. Silence without strategy can be just as harmful as saying too much, and legal counsel helps strike the right balance. In high-stakes cases involving professionals, discretion is not simply a courtesy. It is a strategic necessity. Public statements, informal conversations, and even digital communications can all become part of an investigation. Early involvement of legal counsel ensures that communications are thoughtful, measured, and aligned with long-term interests. This is particularly important in cases where allegations may attract media attention or industry scrutiny. A single misstep can shape narratives that are difficult to correct later. Legal guidance helps manage not only legal exposure but also reputational risk, often working quietly behind the scenes to prevent unnecessary escalation. Another key reason for early legal guidance matters is the protection of fundamental rights. Many individuals assume that cooperation without counsel demonstrates innocence or goodwill. The legal system is complex, and well-intentioned cooperation can sometimes lead to misunderstandings or misinterpretations. Early counsel helps individuals understand their rights during interviews, searches, and requests for information. It clarifies when cooperation is appropriate and when it may be wiser to pause or redirect communication through legal channels. This understanding is especially important for professionals who may be accustomed to transparency and responsiveness in their daily work but find that those instincts do not always translate well into a criminal investigation. Criminal cases often follow strict procedural timelines that are not always visible to those outside the system. Decisions made early can shape the trajectory of a case months or years later. Evidence preservation, witness statements, and strategic positioning all depend on timely action. Legal professionals with experience in complex criminal matters understand how these timelines operate and how early decisions can affect later options. David Ruzumna, for example, has handled cases where reputation, career, and future opportunities were at risk, and where early strategic decisions played a decisive role in protecting long-term outcomes. His work reflects a broader reality in criminal defense that timing is often as important as substance. For licensed professionals, criminal allegations rarely exist in isolation. Doctors, attorneys, executives, and business owners may face parallel inquiries from licensing boards or regulatory agencies. These proceedings often have different standards of proof and different goals than criminal courts, yet they can be just as consequential. Early legal guidance helps coordinate responses across these forums. It ensures that actions taken in one context do not inadvertently harm another. This coordinated approach requires an understanding of both criminal procedure and the professional frameworks that govern specific industries. Without early counsel, individuals may find themselves responding inconsistently, creating vulnerabilities that could have been avoided. Due process is a foundational principle of the justice system, but it can feel abstract when an individual is under investigation. Fear and uncertainty often lead to rushed decisions or reactive behavior. Early legal guidance brings structure and perspective during this period, reinforcing that allegations are not determinations and that the process exists to test evidence, not assumptions. Experienced attorneys emphasize patience and discipline, reminding clients that not every allegation warrants an immediate response. In some cases, the most effective strategy involves careful observation and preparation rather than confrontation. This measured approach helps preserve credibility with investigators, courts, and professional bodies alike. A common challenge for professionals facing allegations is the instinct to defend their character publicly or to explain themselves to colleagues and peers. While understandable, this approach can create complications. Statements made outside formal legal settings may lack context or precision, yet they can still be scrutinized later. Early legal guidance reframes the situation from one of reaction to one of strategy. It encourages individuals to focus on facts, processes, and long-term goals rather than immediate emotional relief. David Ruzumna has often noted through his work that the goal of early representation is not to inflame conflict but to manage it thoughtfully, keeping attention on outcomes rather than optics. Criminal cases involving professionals often have implications that extend far beyond the resolution of charges. Even acquittals or dismissals do not always erase the reputational impact of allegations. This reality underscores the importance of a long-term view from the very beginning. Early legal counsel helps individuals consider how decisions today may affect future employment, licensing, or public perception. It also allows for proactive steps to mitigate damage, such as addressing compliance issues, documenting professional conduct, or preparing for regulatory review. These efforts are most effective when undertaken early, before narratives solidify. One of the less visible but most valuable aspects of early legal guidance is education. Understanding how the criminal justice process works reduces fear and allows individuals to participate more effectively in their own defense. Knowledge replaces speculation, and clarity replaces panic. Attorneys who approach these cases from an educational standpoint help clients understand not only what is happening, but why it is happening. This transparency builds trust and supports better decision-making. David Ruzumna's experience in handling complex matters reflects this emphasis on informed strategy, where clients are guided through each stage with an eye toward both legal and professional realities. The single greatest benefit of engaging legal counsel as soon as possible is that the individual will have an objective, strong, and stable presence to help them overcome a period of uncertainty. For many professionals, criminal allegations create an isolating experience. They are typically successful individuals who have always had control over their environment. Having an attorney provides professionals with the assurance that they have the necessary resources to navigate each stage of the process by utilizing their ability to think logically and clearly rather than reactively and fearfully to the charges against them. Engaging counsel at an early stage does not mean that a person is guilty, nor is it a sign of being aggressive. Instead, it indicates that the individual recognizes that the high stakes of this type of situation require them to be well prepared and to have respect for the process. By obtaining legal representation early, the professional has taken the first step towards protecting the significant investments of their career and reputation that have taken years to build. Where there are so many things at stake, early legal representation is not about being combative, but rather about protecting the professional's rights, understanding the timeline and strategic approach, and aligning those strategies with the professional's long-term career goals. For those individuals who are facing criminal allegations, the way in which their case unfolds will depend greatly upon the foundation that was established by involving a lawyer early in the process.